Thank you.
Hi everyone, I am audible.
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Give me a second. Okay, let's get started. So this is our day two, guys. Okay, so before beginning day two, let's just quickly recap day one. Okay, so I'll ask you some questions. Please answer. So can anyone tell me what is cloud? Before that, what is cloud? Anyone? No one knows. Do you want me to call your names, guys? See, we come here to study only, right? So if there is anything wrong, then we'll fix it. Mohammed, can you tell me what is cloud?
Yeah, so cloud is a tool. It's used to provide services or to enter the services of a provider of a database that is provided by a certain public provider.
Okay.
And you know it contains a lot of services. That's in general.
Okay. We'll simply phrase it. It is a tool to automate infrastructure. Yeah, so if someone asks you what is cloud, just simply said that it is a tool that is used to automate the existing infrastructure that we have. And then finally, the last question, what is cloud computing? Can anyone tell me? Yeah, no one. Kanaya, Shushant. Strange thing. But okay. I'll waiting for the answers. Let me know if anyone wants to tell it. Okay. In the meantime, yes, someone wants to say anything.
I think it's using the resources of the provider remotely or
Mm,
using their like
Some, let me
data.
just write it for on-demand availability of resources. It's a single line state definition for both cloud and cloud computing. If anyone asks you what is cloud, it's a tool to automate infrastructure. And what is cloud computing? On-demand availability of resources. So the organizations that have a larger infrastructure, they set up cloud to automate it. Then they will provide us a platform, and that platform is known as cloud computing platform. And then that platform, we can demand anything on demand basis. If you want virtual machine, network, storage, or let's just say some kind of a firewall, anything can be on demandly asked from that platform, and they will provide us. Okay. Now let's start with the day two. So today we are going to discuss majorly two things. First one is Azure Global Infrastructure. Okay. Second one is Azure Account Hierarchy, or let me call it like this, Azure Enterprise Enrollment. Okay. And then finally, we are going to see how to create Azure account. Okay, so these are the three things that we are going to learn today. So again, this is a very high level statements, but in these topics we are going to explore multiple things. Okay, so let's just get started.
Uh, Hello, sir.
Yes.
This is Shan this side. So yesterday, due to some reason, I was not able to attend this class. So is it fine? That something major we have covered in yesterday class, or
No, in
this is
yesterday's session we covered the very basics of cloud and cloud computing.
okay?
Okay, and day two is completely new, but yes, I would ask you to go through the video once, okay, because it will clear you the very basic fundamental. Okay, and with
Mhm.
those fundamental, see, you can find those fundamental over the internet, but there is some discrepancy in that knowledge, but yeah, that will make you stand out. Okay, so these again, that basic definition, like if you are searching what is cloud and cloud computing, like those. Okay, so I would recommend you to go through those recording, but again, day one and day two are completely different, so no issues if you don't check the
Okay,
first class.
thanks. Yes,
Okay,
thanks.
okay. So let's just talk about Azure global infrastructure today. Firstly, okay, so Azure global infrastructure. So if I vaguely show you how Azure global infrastructure looks, so it should look like this. I think you are able to see my browser, right? So
Yes.
vaguely Azure global infrastructures look like this. So as you can see, there are multiple cables, then there are multiple points. Okay, so this is the whole Azure global infrastructure. As you can see, it covers almost all the globe. Okay, many different continents and many countries have Azure services. Okay, so this is a very high level overview of Azure services. Okay, so all these cables that you are seeing or the thing that is transporting is the submarine cables that are placed down the ocean. Okay, and using these cables, all the data is transmitting. Okay, so there is no let's just say wireless or any traffic that is going on. So all the traffic always flows from these submarine cables, and these submarine cables are placed by these providers only, like AWS or and GCP. Okay, and other companies like Reliance and other sectors will maintain it. So all the basic communication that if we are sending any traffic or let's just say if we are connecting to any region, so the traffic or the data or the message that we are sending are passes from these cables only. Okay, so again, it's a very high level overview. Now we'll jump into the categories. Just a second, please. That we have in global infrastructure. Okay. Okay. So in Azure, so Azure global infrastructure is comprised of five things. So first one is the geographies. Second one is let me just write it as a regions. Third one is availability zones. Just a second. Then the fourth one is region pair. And then the final one is Azure location. Okay. So does anyone has any idea of any of these terms? Any vague idea of geographies, regions, availability zones, region pair, anything? Okay. I'll take it as a no then. So first of all, we are going to understand about geographies. So in this map, so let me just take it as a map first. So in this map, as you can see that there are multiple countries where Azure provided services, right? Like in the USA, South America, Brazil, Australia, India, Japan, China, Europe, right? So basically, if there is a presence in a certain country, or if Azure says that our services are available at that particular country, so that particular country is known as geographies in Azure. Okay, Azure has multiple geographies like India. So if I am saying that India is a geography of Azure, then I am saying that Azure services are available in India. Give me a second, please. What is happening? Now, guys, are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So, in the country, if Azure services are available, then it is known as Azure Geographies. Okay, so now as I told you that there are many geographies of Azure like India, USA, China, then Japan, okay, Europe. So these are geographies of Azure. So basically, geographies are nothing that Azure has its presence of their data centers in a certain country, and that country is known as Azure geography. Okay, so geography is the first thing that you need to select whenever you are deploying any resources in Azure. Okay, and how we want to select? So let's just assume that I worked in an MNC that is located in London. Let's just assume that. Okay, it's a London-based company. Now that London-based company has a product called, here it is. See. So it has a product called, let's just assume a game. We'll call it as a Free Fire game. Okay, so London-based company has a game called Free Fire game. Now the users of these games are based on India. Okay, so this company launches its game in India. Okay, so the core user base of this particular application or this particular entity lies in India. Now the company that is based on London, now they have to know that okay, so there are certain compliances that needs to be followed, like storing the data inside the country and other compliances regarding to the gaming industry. Then what they are going to select as a geography. So first of all, they go to cloud providers and they search in India if there are any data centers or if there are presence of Azure or not. Okay, so they go and select a geography called Indian geography. They'll see. Okay, so first of all, what they are going to do, first of all, they come into this particular site that is provided by Azure and they'll see that if there are any resources or if there are services of Azure available in India or not. Okay, so they will come into the map and they see, okay, so there are Azure services that are available or Azure data centers that are available in internet. Okay, so this is the first thing that every company is going to look when they are going to deploy or use Azure cloud or let's just say any cloud. Okay, it's common for every cloud. So first of all, you need to select the geography. If that cloud provides that geography or not. Okay, any doubts in this?
No.
Okay, guys. Once you select the geographies, then you have to select the regions there. Now, let me do it like this. So let's just say this is the country where we want to launch our application. So it's an India geography. Okay. Now in India, as we know that to run or to provide a cloud platform like this, so we have to build data centers, right? So now Azure is going to build data centers here. And the data centers are going to build inside the cities that are reside in India, correct? So now we are assuming that Azure builds 3 data centers. Now all these data centers are going to be present in different cities. Okay. So and these data centers that are built is known as regions. Okay, so geography is a place where Azure services are available, and inside that geography, that the data center that is going to be built is known as region. Okay, so there are 3 regions particularly in India that right now available. So there is region 1. Now let me just write it, which is located in Pune. Then there is another region that is located in Chennai. And then there is another region that is again upcoming, not right now active, that is in Hyderabad. Okay, so there are 3 regions that are present right now in India: Pune, Chennai, and Hyderabad. Okay, so when we are saying regions, so we are thinking, okay, so there are 3 data centers that are right now present in India. First one is in Pune, second one is in Chennai, and third one is Hyderabad. Okay, so what is the definition of regions? So regions are the data centers that are located in that particular geography. Let me write that also. So that are located in the geographies. Now how I came to know that, okay, so there are three data centers. One is in Pune, one is in Chennai, and one is in Hyderabad. So again, when we switch back to this particular globe view, now let me, okay, it will not go to zoom directly. So these are, so you can see these points like Central India, India South Central, and then South India. Okay, so these are the names that is given by Azure, and these are the only regions that you are going to see in your Azure portal as well as Central India. So if you click on Central India, so now as we can see, but where is the
So can we locate these data center with exact address?
no exact? So they are not going to provide you exact address. Okay, because for the obvious reason. But yeah, you can just see that
If
in
if we
Pune it
talk
is going to
about like
say.
a data center like Yota and many data center are there, so we can locate over the internet site like with the complete address. So can we do the same with this Azure?
No, you cannot get the actual details, or let's just say the address, the full address of that region, okay, of that data center particularly. But yes, you can see that in which region, or let's just in which city you are going to get. Okay,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
I don't think so that it is going to be given, because again, it's a very sensitive location to place the data,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
if it is going to
exactly.
be provided to everyone, then yeah, it can be a risk hazard. Okay, give me a second, please. Why it is not working the page? Yeah, now the descriptions are coming. So, yep, here it is. Now again we came to Central India. Now in the Central India, so it is located in Pune. So the Pune data center, whenever you want to choose Pune data center, then the name that is going to be showed to us is called Central India. Okay. So now as you can see, it is opened in 2015, and then there are disaster recovery procedures and what are the services that are available here, and as well as what are the compliances and what are the industrial compliances that is followed by this particular region. Same goes for if we select another region called South India. So it is located in Chennai. When it is open in 2015. So whenever you want to select the Chennai region, then you have to select South India. And then finally, we have this Hyderabad region, India South Central, that is located in Hyderabad, and it is yet to open. Okay, so again, these are the compliances that are followed by this region, and it will come with an availability zone coming soon. Okay, so we call it India South Central. Okay, so like this, there are multiple regions. There are multiple regions that are present or given by Azure. If we see in a table, so as you can see, like this. So you can select the region. Like if you want to see, give me a second. In India, we have these three regions. If you go to USA, then these are the regions. And almost every cloud provider has multiple region in USA because they are originate from them, and there are many users that uses cloud there or cloud computing. So that's why you can for any cloud, it's not for Azure, but for AWS and GCP, they have their largest data center set on USA side. Okay, so as if you can come here and then you can see what are the regions that are available, and according to this region and then again those geographies, you are going to select on which particular region or geography you are going to deploy resources. Now remember one thing, whenever you are selecting any region or any geographies, then you need to know that the prices of the services that you are going to use in these regions are always different. Let me just write that also. Prices of services are different in all geographies. Now in region, it does not matter because again, it's come under the same geography, but the prices of the services are always going to be different for all the geographies. So the prices of some services, let's just take an example of a virtual machine only. So the price of a virtual machine can be different in central India and it can be different in US East region or in a USA region. Okay. And now the question is why prices are different? So can anyone has any idea why the prices are different? Anyone? Again, it's a very basic thing, guys. So I think everyone has a phone, and as you know that, so for particularly for iPhone, as you know that there are certain price gaps that have in India and US or in Dubai, right? So if an iPhone is launched around 90 or 95,000 in USA, it will cost around 1 lakh 15 or 20,000, I think, approx in India. So that is the same reason why the prices are different because of the tax and the import duties imposed by the government. Because if a data center is going to be created, then there is a lot of logistics and hardware that is going to be import as well as get from the country. So all that cost lies on the import duties and the tax imposed by the government. That's why the prices are different in every geographies because the taxation is different in different countries. Okay, and if we talk about the cheapest region, particularly in Azure, so the cheapest region in Azure is East West 2. Okay, it is the largest region as well as it is the cheapest region for Azure because there are many new services that are initially tested here as well. That's why East US 2 is the cheapest region that is provided by Azure. So for our practice, if we want to make sure that our bill is going to be very less, then we can select East US 2. But again, for the enterprise and if you are working on an organization, then the region is solely dependent upon the users that you are catering to. Okay, is it clear? Any doubts?
So for the cost perspective, we have to select every time East US to as far
For
as we are
study
living in
purpose,
India.
let's just say that for student purpose, as we have a very constrained budget for spending, okay. So at that time, yes, you can select ECS to every time when you are deploying a resource. But again, as I told, if you are in a corporate, okay, or if you are a user that is going to deploy us, let's just say service for a user, then it is going to be that user region only. Okay, so if I am working, so let's just say that if we are working and we are deploying a resource for you guys, okay, then as a company we have to deploy that resource in India only because if that service is going to collect your data, then it should be stored in India only.
Okay.
Yeah, again, as I told you, the cheapest reason is because see, when we are studying, we like to do experiments also, right? So when
Mm-hmm.
we are doing experiment, we don't want to get billed too much. So to save that cost, we can use East West to deploy resources. It is cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions?
Nothing from my side.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Now we'll come to availability zone. See, the standard definition of availability zone is very simple. Or in short form, you can call it as an AZ also. In a region, if there is more than one data center, that region is known as availability zone or AZ. Okay, so as I told you, it's a very simple definition. So if a region, if there is more than one data center is available inside that particular region, then that region is known as a availability zone. Now, why this is? Okay, give me a second. Yep. So now, as we know that whenever a cloud launches its services, so initially it will build only a single data center in that particular geography. Okay, because to set up a data center and to manage and maintain the data center is a very big task, and also it is a very labor intensive as well as a very capital intensive task to do so, right? So whenever a new, let's just say provider like in 2015 when Azure came to India, so Azure think that right now we don't have a very larger user base in India or the companies that uses Azure cloud. So in Pune, what I'm thinking is let's just create a single data center for us. And in near future, if we see that the most number of users are going to be use Pune as their primary region to deploy their resources, then we think that if we want to increase the number of data centers or not. So initially, it will going to create a single data center. Okay, but now when Azure or any other cloud see, okay, so now the number of traffic or the number of users that are deploying their services are now increasing in the Pune region. Okay, and after that, if they see that there is a steady usage of their data centers in Pune, and if it is using more than 70% capacity, more than 70% capacity of their data center, then they are thinking, okay, so let's just invest in another data center because we have a very huge user base in this particular data center. So now we'll divide this whole data set. Now we'll create another data center. Okay. So now will they create another data center, and after that, when they create another data center, then this Pune. Initially, we are calling it as a region, right? So now this region will termed as availability zone. So in this particular region, Azure provides more than one data center. Okay. So yes, if in a region, if there is more than one data center, then that particular region is known as data center. Now what this help us? So the first one and the foremost one that it helps to the Azure is, okay, so now they have two data centers. Now they can distribute their user base into these two data centers. And if required, then they will create another data center as well to further distribute. Again, it solely dependent upon what is the user base. So now they have three data centers. All these data centers are physically connected. Okay, and now you can deploy your resources in any of these data center. Again, when we are deploying our services, we are not going to choose in which data center we are going to deploy our services. It is defined by Azure only. Okay, we just select the region, and in that particular region, Azure will automatically deploy that in a certain data center according to their usage and demands. Okay, so now when we have a set, we have three data center in a particular region. First one, that the data is distributed. Second advantage is the failover that we get. So in Pune, let's just assume that if something happens or let's just take a natural disaster called earthquake. So earthquake happened in Pune, okay, at a location where this data center lies, and somehow the data centers got damaged. Okay, so Azure will shift all the services to another data centers, or when we are creating some services, we have an option to be have a failover. So we'll set up a failover like this, where we can easily failover these data center services to another data center. Okay, so by creating an availability zone, we can also create a fault tolerance for our application. So likely, whenever anything happens to that particular data center, then we can gradually or directly move or shift our application to another data centers. Okay, is it clear, guys? Okay, anyone else who understands or not?
Yeah, clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Second, please. Okay, so now these are for the regions. So region provides a stability for Azure Cloud so that it can distribute the user base. So that the first thing that we can get is scalability. See, I quoted a number called 70% if their utilization is more than 70%. Sometimes it's less than 70% also. Because see, in the last session, I told you that cloud computing platform provides you scalability. You can scale a machine that has one vCPU. Let me just write it also. So platforms provide scalability. And what kind of scalability? If I create a machine that has one CPU and 1 GB RAM, I can scale up to, let's just for 12 terabytes of RAM and around 500 cores or 500 CPUs. So this kind of scaling is provided by Azure. Okay, and one fun fact, Azure provides the highest configuration to the users if we check on all the cloud bases. Okay, AWS, GCP, and other cloud provider does not provide these kind of configurations, but Azure provides it. Okay, because some transactional databases are to be created in SAPs. So if we are creating an SAP transactional database, then it has a minimum configuration of around 2 to 3 terabytes of RAM. It is easily requireable. Okay, so that's why Azure will provide this kind of scalability. Now let's just assume that if 70% data center is already utilized, then how they are going to provide scalability? That's why they will create multiple data centers. Okay, and there are some regions only that has availability zones right now in Azure. Azure is gradually building the data centers. Okay, but still, right now in some regions there are only a single data center, and in some regions there are availability zones. Again, to get that list, we need to check out this table only that is provided by Azure. Okay, give me a second. So as you can see in central India, in Pune, if we select two availability zones, then you can see available with 3 zones. So basically there are 3 data centers in that particular region. Okay. Now, so Hyderabad is non-operational, but South India doesn't have any availability zones. Now we have a question. Okay, so now we can understand. Okay, so there is no much traffic in South India, but then what about fault tolerance? Okay, and it's not for South India. Let's just say that there are multiple geographies Azure serves, and in those geographies there are multiple availability regions. Now, for we are thinking or we are understanding, okay, so for not all the regions they have availability zones. Then what are those regions who has only single data center? What about their fault tolerance? If something happened to that data center, then what is going to happen? So to fix that issue, Azure has created another component that is called region pairs. Okay, and region pairs are specifically defined for Azure. So for regions and availability zones, these are common in every cloud. So you have regions in AWS also, Azure also, GCP also, and availability zones in AWS and Azure. GCP also has some availability zones, but not much. Okay, but region pair is specifically created by Azure or Microsoft for the Azure cloud. So what they do in region pairs? So to create a fault tolerance for the user for a particular region which doesn't have an availability zone, so they create a combination like this. So let me just draw 2 things first, and this one also. Yep. So this is a region pair. Okay. So this is South India. It has one data centers. Okay. Now Azure will connect this South India data center to Central India data centers. As we already know that in Central India, there are 3 data centers. Now these 3 data centers has failover with each other. So if anything happens to this particular data center, then it can transfer or it can migrate their services to another data center. It can be this or it can be this one. But when South India goes down, it will automatically migrate or move its services to the Central India data center. Now, it is not defined by Azure that in which particular data center it will going to be migrated. But yes, Azure provides a fault tolerance document in which it mentions. So if anything happens in South India region, if any natural disaster or if anything is happened, then it will completely migrate its services to the Central India data center. And the backups, let's just say that you have created a backup service. So the extra backup of that backup services is located inside this Central India data center. So it will just directly migrate your data and switch your services endpoints to this particular Central India data center. Now this pairing is known as region pairs. Okay, so for the data centers who doesn't have availability zones, Azure pair it with the nearest data center that is available. Okay, and you can see the definition here as well. Nearest zone with zones available. Okay, so it will simply redirect or fault tolerant it to the nearest region that is available to South India. Is it clear, guys?
So we are getting the fault tolerance with every VM which we are creating, or for every server.
Yes. So basically, there is a principle like for Azure managed services, they are providing you the complete fault tolerance by their side. Okay, so if anything happens to that service, it will automatically migrate. But if we are saying about VM, so for VM, we have to create that fault tolerance for us.
So is it chargeable?
Yes, it is chargeable anyhow. See, if you create anything in cloud, it will be charged for us. Okay, and it's our practice to see the basic fundamental of a deploying application is simply you can deploy your application in a single region, or let's just say in a single region. Okay, but now you have to make sure that if anything happens to that region, then your application should be able to run. Okay, so to do that, there is a base simple principle. So instead of running a single instance, run twice instance of that. So if anything happens to the first instance, then the second instance is still running. So whenever you are thinking about that, you can just simply deploy that second instance into a different region. So there is no connectivity issue. We can easily manage the connectivity, but then this is a default fault tolerance that we'll create for ourselves. Okay, because both the VMs are now running in a different region, then you can simply, if anything happens to a single region, then the second application is always going to run. Okay, and again, it is chargeable because we are deploying resources in that particular region also.
Mm, okay.
Okay. Yep. So when we are going to launch about when we are going to discuss about virtual machines, right? So we'll understand the basic fundamental of availability of a particular resource. And at that time only, we are going to also learn about five basic fundamental principles that Azure provides us about backups, about recovery of a machine or of a service, all these things. Okay. Any doubts, guys? Okay. No one is asking anything, and then when I'll ask, no one is going to answer also. Guys, be cool. Okay, so it's not an issue if you are going to ask any questions until unless it is regarding to our topic only, then it is fine. You can ask anything. Okay, and then finally we have edge locations. Anyone heard about edge locations? Anyone?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell me what is it?
Edge location, if I talk about in the data center sense, so uh, one or two rack in a location in which the data in which the servers are stored. Is it?
Not like that, but yeah. Okay, let me just give you another word. So I think that word is a common word. Does anyone heard about CDN services? Or if I elaborate it, content delivery network. I think some of you heard about this CDN services, Akamai or another service providers of CDN, content delivery network. No one heard? Okay, no issues. Okay, tell me something, guys. So I think some of you encountered a issue like this. You are traveling somewhere, okay, you are in a train or you are in a bus, and if you try to open a particular website, so that web page opens very quickly, okay, but the content on that particular site is not loading up yet. It is taking some time. I think this problem is faced by everyone, right or wrong?
Yes.
Yes, you face this, but
Yeah.
this happens to some sites only. But some sites will open the page as well as its content, but the content has a lower resolution. Many of you encountered this thing also.
Yeah.
Yes.
Correct. So the difference between not opening the content and opening the content is created by these edge locations only or the CDN network only. Okay, so let me just give you an example. Let's just assume that we have a website. Let's just say we have a website of shopping app. Okay. We have a website for shopping app, and that website, I have deployed this website in Pune data center. Okay. Now, this website has pictures and videos and audios Okay, so that you can just come into this site, then you can just see the number of if you want to select any kind of a brand or any kind of a cloth, or let's just say hardware, you can just visit that, and after visiting that you can just see the pictures, and there are some videos of that sources also. Okay, now let's just assume that I am a user from Delhi. Okay, or if I am a user from Kashmir. Okay, then if I am a user from USA, let's just say that. Okay, and let me add just one another user. And if I am a user from, let's just say Imphal. Okay, so these are the three particular locations that are far away from Pune. Okay, let's assume like this only. Now, whenever if I'm going to open this particular page for me, okay, so if I'm a user from Delhi, if I'm going to open this particular page, happens, yeah, if I'm going to particularly open this page, then what happens in the backend? First of all, we have to understand that part. So what happens in the backend is basically, if let's just assume that right now I'm using Airtel Wi-Fi. Okay, so that whenever I am going to click this website, in the backend DNS resolution is happening. Okay, so it is going to resolve my IP address of this particular server and it will open the page for me. But for the content that we are seeing right now, what happens is we'll send our request from Airtel. So Airtel has multiple towers. Okay, towers or their location where at that particular region traffic initially comes. So I'm assuming that my first tower is present in, let's just assume it's Rajasthan. Okay, after that the second tower that Airtel is created in Ahmedabad. Okay, and then after that, wait a second. And after that, the third tower that collects the data for Airtel and then send it is located in Pune. We'll call it here. Okay, so how the downloading of content or anything works here. So first of all, whenever I am sending a request to download any kind of a content, it will go to my tower first where all the data is collected, and then the data request is sent to the second tower, and then it's sent to the third tower. Now, what I am saying, downloading the content. So whenever you open any picture or any media content in the internet, it will download the content for you. Okay, not in your local, but it will going to download it. That's why your downloading or internet speed depends upon the opening of a page. You can see it in Instagram. So whenever you open in Instagram, if your internet connection is good, your pictures are going to be seen very fastly. But if your internet is very slow, then it will take some time to load. Correct. So same thing happens to any apps, just like our shopping apps or any gaming site or anything like that. So using this tower hopping, we are going to get our pictures. And because the data is reside in this particular data center, first of all, you have to come here. Then once we receive that data, then again the same process. It will going to be tower 3, then tower 3 from tower 2, then tower 2 to tower 1, and then tower 1 from our laptop. Okay, so this is a very fast process. It generally does not take any time, but again, we are talking in a place where our internet is very slow. Okay, so at that time, this whole process can take some time to happen, and it will same for all the regions. For Imphal also, if we are going to download any content and if our internet is good, then it is no problem. But if our internet is slow, then there is a problem of downloading that content. It will take some time, but yes, it will going to download. This scenario is clear to everyone, what we are trying to see or what we are trying to understand. Tell me. Yes, it's a yes or no question, guys. If you understand the scenario, then yes. If no, then no.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Again, see, this is a very basic thing that we always use or a company always use to deliver a good experience. But yeah, and why all these things are, let's just say, required. Okay, again, because of the user experience of a user. Because see, if in a bad internet we are able to open a particular site, then it has a good impression on us. Okay, so yes, I know that my internet connection is very, it's not very good, but still I am able to visit this site. Okay, so that is again a user perception that a company wants to develop on us. So to tackle all this challenge, what is the solution? So the solution is store the content near to the user. Okay, a simple answer for the solution is store the content near to the user. Okay, see, if I am going to decrease the hops of your sending or receiving a data, so let's just assume that instead of sending to tower 2 our request, before reaching to the tower 1 our request fulfills automatically, so the content is automatically going to load fast. If your internet is slow or fast, it doesn't care on that part. Okay, so the simple answer is basically we need to store the content near to the user. But now this particular things brings a challenge to us is, okay, I'll create or I'll store the data, that content to near to the user, but how much near? There are multiple cities in India. There are multiple cities in other countries as well. And I'm not going to open multiple data centers on that, because to create or set up a data center, again, it's a very huge investment. Apart from that investment, it's a very labor intensive work to manage and maintain those data centers. So it's not likely to be good for me or any cloud provider to create multiple data centers. Okay. So what they will open, they will create a CDN location or an edge location there. So now again to the definition of CDN, it is a mini data center that are created in the cities where you can store the content. And let me just fix that also. Give me a second. Access it fastly. Okay. Yes, it is. It happens. Okay, let me just rewrite it again. That will be good then. It is a mini data center that are created in cities to serve as a CDN to the users. Okay, so again, it's a very compact definition, and you just need to know this simple definition only. It's a mini data centers that are created in different cities so that they can act as a CDN servers, and it will serve content to the users. And now, what is the type of content that right now I'm talking? I'm talking about pictures and videos and audios also. Okay, and all this data should be static. Okay, so that is the one thing that we always need to understand. Only the static data can be listed in CDNs. Okay, so no dynamic data, like if you are going to stream or do anything, it will not going to be stored in CDN services. So all the static data is going, you can store in CDN services. So now how the pictures look like now for us. So give me a second. Let me create diagram for that. This is the data centers. Again, these are the edge locations. Let's just take example of two only. Data center. Yes, you can ask questions. App. Then this is an edge location. Let's just say in Delhi. Then it's an edge location in Punjab. Okay, and again, this is an user from Delhi, and this is an user from Kashmir. Okay, so now what we are going to do, so what companies are going to do, not us. So basically, they are going to store their content in these edge locations. Okay, and now whenever a user is going to come to see our website, so again the website is going to be open, but the content of that particular page is now going to be downloaded from this edge location. So now instead of getting to the Pune, now a Delhi user can access the content from Delhi itself. Okay, and the CDN providers provides the capability to compress the data also if the internet connection lags. Okay, so in edge location you can upload the content in various quality, and according to the internet speed, edge location will give the content to that particular user. And again, this particular thing compression is managed by edge locations only to them. Same goes for Kashmir. So now instead of going to Pune, it can simply go to the edge location that are present in the Punjab. And now if we have a query that how edge location is decided, so it will automatically choose the nearest edge location, and it is going to be embedded in your URL only that you are going to hit. Okay, so from our side, we don't have to choose anything. It is already embedded in the URL that we are hitting. And the property of edge location is very good that it will automatically choose the nearest edge location of your location. Nearest and the fastest edge location that you have. Is it clear, guys? It can be
Yes.
sound something gimmicky, but yes, it is widely used in the organizations. And many
Yeah.
organizations use CDNs. Anyhow, we need to use it. Okay. And any questions, guys? Let's just see. Any queries? Any queries regarding the pricing, posting, anything?
There'll be
So
extra
what
price
is the
for to use the X, right?
Yes. But okay. Yes, there is an extra price. Any another question? In the pricing section only I want to know.
anything which we have stored in our Pune data center, the same which is going to reflect in the edge?
Yes. But only the content that I said, audio, videos, like those things only, and pictures.
Content means not everything.
No, not everything. Only pictures, videos, and audios. These three things. So these three things are the content, right? If we are thinking the content is a written document, that is again not a content for edge locations particularly. So the content that right now I'm talking is only videos, pictures, and
So what is the difference between a data center and edge? Basic difference.
just a second,
So
and audio. See, a data center particularly comprises of a very large area with multiple types of hardware. Okay, so it has an hardware that can store your data. It has an hardware that can run a virtual machine or virtual machine for you. It can create a virtual network inside the data center. You can create, yes, you can purchase hardware from the data center. Okay, so you can do a lot of these things in a pure data center, but in an edge location, you can only store your data, or sorry, you can only store your content. Apart from that, you can not do anything in the edge locations. Okay, so this is a very basic difference between these two things. And again, the
so
pricing
you
is different
told
for
about
everything.
the like if we are utilizing 70% of the resources in the data center, so how can we manage in the edge?
No, that is managed by cloud provider only, and that is the question that I want you to ask me. That if we are using a higher storage in a data center storage, then what is the storage that we are going to use in edge location? Okay, so that is the question that I want you to bring up. So yes, I'll answer that. Now assume that, guys. Okay. Now it's a very interesting question also to understand. So let's just assume that I am a content-based company.
So
Okay.
may you told कि like the Google Drive and like this is it?
No, no, no. That is not a CDN. Okay, so that is a storage service. That is an object-based storage service. Okay, so that is not a CDN. Okay. Also, yeah, you can also complete your question first. I have answered that bit. It's not an CDN service. You want to ask anything else? Okay. Now that question that I want to answer. See, let's just assume that I have a storage. storage of around 1 terabyte. I have a content, or let's just say pictures of 1 terabyte. Okay, so now, and I am paying around, let's just say that $100 for this per month. Now, our users are located in these two locations, and I am saying that the data is going to be replicated from our Pune data center only. So, does our 100, so in edge location also, are we going to take 1 terabyte of storage
No, no,
in each and every location?
no, no. We will only utilize the most what the requested content storage, right? So let's
And
say
how will you
our
decide it?
100 M means based on the request from the users, quarterly analysis or monthly analysis, we will see that okay, from this particular reason, 100 MB or 1 gig of data is being mostly requested. So we will store those data only to the edge location.
But then it will create a discrepancy, right? So some data, or let's just say some content will fast load, but some will going to be very
Yeah,
slow.
but those are the most requested content, right? Mostly the user is requesting those content.
But let's just say
If I'm
that,
going to store everything over there, then I have to pay a huge amount of money also at the same time.
yes, see, that is correct. And I'm not saying that it's not going to be correct, but yeah, I'm asking, let's just say that there is a general trend, or let's just say shift of trends for your product on every 2 months, or 2 months is also a very big number. So let's just say every month, then every month you are going to store the data like that, right? That is a
Correct.
basic thing that we need to do. Yes. So to overcome this challenge, what CDN providers do is, let me just see one thing. Let me just remove this one first. Yep. So that is the one challenge that a user can be faced, or a company can face. So if they have 1 terabyte of data, and they are not going to store anything, because you need to pay extra for the edge location anyhow. First thing. Second thing, so for the companies that have that based on trends, and if their product, if they have a very large catalog of the products, sorry, and the trends are different for each product for every month or every 2 to 3 day basis, it's a very big hassle to store the content there. So in this scenario, what edge locations do is, so simply edge location doesn't contain any kind of a data initially. So initially edge location doesn't contain any data. Okay, so we'll set up the edge location, and if we know that this certain data is required, or it's the front page, so let me just show you like this. So when I go to Amazon.in, so Amazon knows that this is my front page, guys. Okay, and whenever a user is going to open my front page, so this particular content is automatically needs to be loaded fastly. Okay, so what they do, they will upload this particular data into the edge location. Apart from that, they are not going to upload anything in the electronic sections, in the today's deal sections, nothing, no data is going to be uploaded there. Okay, so only the front page is there. So let's just assume that now we'll just take some names from our team only. So Krishna and Shishant, let's just take example of these two users. So Krishna is located in Delhi right now, we are assuming like that. And then Shishant is located in Kashmir. Okay, so sorry if there is a spelling mistake, guys. Okay, so now these are the two users. Now they want to open Amazon. So again, when they open the front page, okay, so now they have data. They can easily open the page fastly. Now, let's just say Krishna sees, okay, so there is a, here is Amazon.in. Yes, so there is a Great Republic Day sale. So now Krishna wants to open this. So it will open it. Now when Krishna will open it, okay, so now edge location doesn't have any content there. Okay, so only the front page content is uploaded into the edge location. So they will upload that. Now, when Krishna is going to request for that, the request goes to the nearest edge location, and when edge locations finds that it doesn't have any data, then it will go to your main server that is located inside the Pune region. Okay, once it will reach there, it will fetch the data. Okay, now where is my mouse? Yeah, and after fetching the data, it will come to that Delhi edge location, and then it will store, it will cache that content for a certain period of time that is decided by us. And after that, it will send the request back to the Krishna with the data that they have. Now, in this whole scenario, there is a little bit, let's just say there is a little bit time that has to be taken to show the results, but for the first user. Okay. Now, let's just assume that Mayank comes from Delhi location again and they want to open Amazon. Again, that is very fast for Mayank. But now if Mayank wants to open Great Indian Sale there, then again that same data is already uploaded in the location. So again the result or the feedback is very fast for Mayank. Okay, so using this technique, so the initial person is going to get a latency, but afterwards that users are not going to get latencies for there. Okay, and now remember that, guys. So all these things are happening in different edge locations. So it's not like that if Krishna opens the Great Indian Sale section and it is nearest to Delhi, then all the edge locations that are connected are going to get updated on that. No. If Sushant is the first customer in the Punjab edge location who is going to open Great Indian Sale, then again edge location will go and collect the data from here. And again, this data is going to be expired according to our time that is set it, and that time is known as TTL, time to live. Okay, so by default, it is the TTL is set to around 2 to 3 days. Okay, according to the trends. But yeah, after that 3 days, it will automatically going to expire. Is it clear to you, everyone?
Yeah.
Yes. So the
Okay.
first phase which you have opened in the Amazon, so it will be set by the company or who will like set it?
It will set by us. So basically, we know that whenever anyone is going to open our site, so it will going to be open the first page only, right? See, basically, no one is going to write amazon.in/electronics. Most of the people don't do that. Okay, if you are doing so, then that is a very different thing. But for general audience, first of all, whenever they want to open Amazon, they go to amazon.in. In your mobile also, you can do like that only, right? You open the app, and the first page that is listed is basically the front page.
Yeah,
So
front page.
Amazon knows that these details needs to be shown to the user because it's the first thing that they are going to see. So they will automatically store so they will store this content anyhow to the edge location in the first go when they set up edge locations. But after this, now the mobile sections or today's deal section can be varied on daily basis, right? So that page is going to be uploaded on the basis of user demand.
And the second time when the user is going to land on that page, like I'm the first user, if Mayank is the second user, so Mayank will get all the details in few of seconds. So will it store the cache in the server? So that's why he's getting the detail very in very quick.
Yes, so the content that is visited by, let's just say, Krishna first time. Okay,
Mm,
so that content is cached in edge location.
okay.
Okay, for a certain period of time, let's just say for 2 days. Okay, so now after Krishna, if Mayank or Sushant is going to visit and their nearest edge location is also Delhi, then this cache data is going to be served to him.
Mm.
Okay, and after 2 days, this data is going to be expired. Then let's just say, let me just get another name. So Mohammed. Let's just say that if on the third day Mohammed comes and see the Great Indian Life Sale, then again it will going to take some time for it. Okay, but again, let's just say that before 2 days, if someone is going to see the data again and again, then it will going to be renew anyhow. Okay, and again, as the I sorry, I forgot the name of that particular student, but it says right. So if we know the trends, then we can also store the data anyhow on the front also. So that can be doable in that also. But majorly, if any organization is using allocation, so this is the steps that they would take generally. Because firstly, it will save the cost of the storage in the edge locations. Edge location storage are not particularly cheap. Okay, because they are very fast storages. Fast SSDs are installed there. So it will put some dent in the pocket, but yes, it's very fast. That's why a very small amount of data is only cached at a moment of time. Okay, and the billing that we will get from edge location is basis on the request that we are getting. Okay, request and around a GB of data request. Okay, and most of the organization only stores around 4 to 5 GBs of data, and I'm saying 4 to 5 GBs of data for the big organizations like Amazon or any another site. Okay, apart from that, other smaller organizations will only going to use around data that are cached around in MBs only, 100 or 200 or 300 MB. Okay, any doubts? No. Again, guys, you only have to say yes or no.
No doubts.
No
Nothing.
doubts? Yes. Okay.
Hmm?
Yep. Okay, so this is all about the global infrastructure of Azure. Okay, you will, if you want to explore more about this, you can simply go to let the search Azure Global Infra. Okay, and the first page that you are going to get is this one, and then just simply select Azure Global Data Centers. And for the persons who are working in industry and they want to deploy resources, so see, if it is a company that already works on Azure or AWS cloud, to be sure, so they already have a particular region to be where they are deploying services. Okay, but let's just say that there is a completely new project or there is a completely new onboarding from your company, then as an engineer you also need to define that, okay, so what region we are going to select. Okay, and in that particular region what are the services that we can do. Okay, so you can just come into this particular area and then you can just see what are the services that you can get or what are the reasons that you can choose. Okay, and also one last thing to be sure about this thing. So let's just say that I want to launch a particular virtual machine in India. Okay, but in India also all the services are not consistently provided in a region also. Okay, so let me just go through this page first, then you'll get understand. So it will depends upon the product availability. So let's just say that if we come to India, okay, so if I want to launch an Azure AI bot service, okay, so it's an AI service that is provided by Azure. So you can only launch that particular service in Central India right now. Apart from that, you cannot launch it into South India or West India. Okay, so you also have to consider this particular product availability also when you are launching any kind of a service. Okay, because there are some services which are not available in India as well. So if you are using Azure Arc, that is integrated with VMware and vSphere, so right now it is in testing mode only, in public review. It is in the test mode or the beta mode only. The full-fledged service is not available in India as well. Okay, so whenever you are selecting regions, in particularly organization, you just need to see these things also. Okay, and how I get that? You just simply go to the data center and then you can see products and region. And you can also check out the plans for the disaster recovery also. So why we are seeing this also? Because see, when you are working in an industry where everything is deployed in cloud, and you are a person that going to manage or you are going to suggest something, then you need to see these things as well. So let's just say that Sushant is asking, so man, can you tell me that how virtual machines are going to be disaster recover if I am going to select a particular region? Okay, then you need to come on to this particular page and check, okay, so for this particular service, this is how disaster recovery works in Azure. Either it is managed completely by Azure or we have to manage it. Okay, so you get these basic details from this particular page. Okay, any doubts?
In what is SKU, which is written behind the product?
Stock keeping unit. Full form is this. So basically, for a particular design that there are multiple variations, right? So let's just take an example of MacBook. So for MacBook Pro, there are multiple SKUs, right? So one has 16 GB RAM, one has 64 GB RAM, one has 128 GB of RAM, one has 32 GB RAM. So these are the SKU units, stock keeping
Basically, it
units.
is variant,
Yes, variants.
variant kind of.
Okay, so okay, any doubts? Okay, so now we'll come to mostly Azure. Now we'll deep dive into the account creation guys. Okay, and now from this moment onwards, we will launch an account and then we'll start everything. So see, instead of writing Azure account creation, I have write Azure enterprise enrollment. Okay, this is because Azure has a very streamlined policy, or let's just say process, to enterprise the whole organization to its cloud among with its user. Okay, give me a second, please. Sorry to disturb. Yeah. So first of all, whenever an enterprise is willing to collaborate with Azure for their data center and their services, first of all, they do an Azure enterprise enrollment. Okay, so first of all, they do Azure enterprise enrollment. Let me just write out the steps that are included and then we'll discuss one by one. Okay, after the enterprise account is created, then they have to create departments. Once the departments are created, they have to create accounts. In those accounts, they have to purchase subscriptions. And inside that subscription, we are going to create resource groups. And in those resource groups, we are going to create resources. Okay, so now this is a very vague and high level overview of the Azure enterprise enrollment part. Okay, now let's just decode everything one by one. So first one is the enterprise enrollment part. So if you want to check Azure enterprise enrollment account, so you can simply go to ea.azure.com. Okay, I hope they don't change the website link, but yeah, initially it was ea.azure.com only. So EA stands for enterprise enrollment. Okay, now this enterprise enrollment or this enterprise portal is only for the CEOs and CTOs, or let's just say business stakeholders. CTO, CFO, or let's just say business stakeholders. Technical business stakeholders, to be precise. Okay, so only for these persons, this particular platform is created, and no other person can get access of this particular portal. Okay, so basically, it's not a very basic platform that where you can just simply go and sign up and then create an account. It's not that process. First of all, you are going to get connected with Azure sales team. Once you get your requirement done, once you explain your requirement, and then Azure architect will going to explain, okay, so these are the services you can take, and all these services are going to get cost of this much. And then you will discuss about what are the connections that we are going to use to connect it with our office. And after setting up of all these basic things for an enterprise, then Azure will create an enterprise account for you, and that enterprise account details will share to only these members. Generally, it is CTO to be shared with these information, because it's an enterprise account and it's a very sensitive account. Okay, so initially only CTO has access to this particular account. Again, you can go to this website, and if you have access, then you can check account also. But yeah, generally this account will not going to get this will not given to a normal user. Okay, you can go to the site, but you're not able to log in it. So first of all, an Azure enterprise enrollment has to be done for a company. Once that is completed, then in that portal you have to create departments. Okay, so now let me just cook in a hierarchy like this. So we have not this. Let me just say that I am okay. So I worked in a TCS. Let me just write this. So I am running a company called TCS. Now in TCS, I have multiple departments. Okay, and each department has its own budget. So according to that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create multiple department in my account. So let's just say development. So there is a dev department, there is an R&D department. Okay, so there is a support department. And then there is an HR department. I'll just considering these four departments, and there are many more to go. Now that CTO will going to create all these departments according to their company structure. And now in this department, now we are going to create accounts for these teams or these departments. So in a particular environment, let's just say we have two managers to manage that particular that whole department. So now I'm again taking name called Krishna. So Krishna is one manager that is managing the dev, and another one is, let's just say, I'll forward the name again, guys. Sorry. Varun, let's just say Varun. Varun is the another person. So we'll create two accounts for these two managers. Okay. So now we are going to create these two accounts for our users. Okay. So the work functioning of department is basically this much. We can create a group here, and in that group we can add multiple accounts. Okay. And the final billing that is going to be get for that particular department, we can see from this department billing. Okay. So it is as simple as much this. Any doubts still here?
Clear.
Clear?
Clear.
Okay. Now,
But I have a query, like for the
yes.
department, yes, we have four departments here and something like that. But in the Azure Enterprise enrollment, what all the information it stores there for that is only visible to CTO, CFO.
No, basically when CTO or let's just say anyone will going to create a department, it will just ask the name and the tags. Okay. And after that, when there are multiple accounts are created in that particular department, so what is the total bill that is going to be that is coming from that particular department? Apart from that, if CTO wants to enforce any kind of a policy like all the resource should be created in US only, apart from US, no other region should be enabled for the development team, then it can enforce policies like those. But apart from that, the major thing that CTO looks from the department is the cost that it is incurring.
Okay, billing and cost information.
Yes, billing, costing, and policy enforcement part. Okay, so now from the account, so from this step, basically we have to do these steps to create a single account also, and for the enterprise account also. So to create an account in Microsoft Azure, first of all you have to create a Microsoft account. Okay, so you need to have a Microsoft account to create that, to create or to use Azure Cloud. Okay, so by default, many organizations use Microsoft services to create users and emails like Microsoft Outlook. So all the users already have a Microsoft account. But if you, again, I am talking now about the batch. So if you want to create your account in Azure, first of all, you should have a Microsoft account. Okay, so how to create a Microsoft account? You just simply go to Microsoft.com. Okay, and here you can just simply sign in. Okay, and by default, it will automatically sign in, Control Shift. Oh. Is it P or N? Okay, so it is N. So let me just write Microsoft.com. We will write like this. Okay, why it is open with this?
You can open it in incognito mode, so it won't ask.
Okay, sorry.
Private.
Private window is hit. Sorry. Microsoft.com. Yeah, now sign in. If I'm going to sign in, then it will going to ask me for the account. Now you can just simply option. You can either create one. Okay, and to create one also you have to do nothing. Just simply add your Gmail account here. Okay, so as you can see, my Gmail account is connected here. And if you already have a license Windows in your laptop, then you already have a Microsoft account which is connected to it. Okay, without email ID, a license window will not going to be run. Okay, so the first thing that you have to do to create an Azure account is you have to create a Microsoft account. Okay, is it clear to everyone?
Yes.
Sign up live.com. Okay, so this is the first thing that you have to do. Now, the next thing that we need to do is the subscriptions. Okay, now we have to purchase a subscription. So now can anyone tell me what is a subscription, guys?
In general, it's paying for a service monthly, or as I read on Azure, it's pay as you go. So as long as you pay as much as you use the service.
That is correct. Anyone else?
It's something like the fees, or you can say the cost that we will be paying, like according to the services we choose, depending upon it could be like for a month, for like quarter or yearly basis, which we can pay to the provider.
Correct. Yes. Both of your answers are correct. And if you want to, let's just say, see it very simple way, all of you is using any kind of a platform to watch movies or content, right? Either it can be Netflix, Hotstar, Z, Sony, and if I miss any, Prime. Okay, so to use those platform, you need to pay some amount, right? So that amount is basically a subscription. And again, the last student tells either it can be a monthly basis, quarterly basis, half yearly basis, or yearly basis. Okay, so for Azure, mostly the subscription billings are on yearly basis. Sorry, monthly basis. You can opt for quarterly or yearly basis also, but again, that depends upon the contract that you have set up with Azure while you are doing the Azure Enterprise enrollment. But for a common users, for us, basically it's a monthly basis only. Okay, so now to get a subscription, we have to go and set up our account on portal.azure.com. Now, remember one thing, guys. Now we have two different URLs. First one is the signup.live.com. So basically, it will create a Microsoft account for us. And Microsoft account is required to run any kind of Microsoft service. And because Azure is also a Microsoft product, so we have to create a Microsoft account first. For enterprise, we already have a Microsoft account created. That's why we don't have to do that. But for a normal person, you have to create Microsoft account first. After that, again, as I told you, Azure is a product of Microsoft only. So to use Azure, you have to purchase a subscription from Microsoft. And to get a subscription of that, you have to go to portal.azure.com. Portal.azure.com is a place where you are going to purchase the subscription as well as you are going to manage the Azure infrastructure from this account. Okay, so now what you have to do, you have to go to portal.azure.com. So it will open you a site like this. Okay. Now the Microsoft ID that you have created, you have to enter that here. So I have created a new ID for myself also. So this is my new ID, my@smi252.tk. Okay, so it has my own domain name. So if we click on next, it will show you something like this. Then I'll enter the password. So in your background, you're not going to see anything, but I have. And because I have created a new account, so I have to reset my password. It will not going to show you in your login experience. Okay, just simply hit sign in. Okay, apart from that, there is no other information that is required. It will ask you to set up an authenticator. Right now, I'll skip it because it's not my main account. Yes, sign in. And it will automatically redirect to me to this particular portal. So guys, basically this is the Azure portal that on which we are going to work. And if you are in an organization, this is the portal where you are going to deploy or manage everything. Okay, so the sign up process is very clear. How to create an account. Again, guys, yes, no, anything?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so don't shy to be interactive. You can ask me anything. Only it needs to be topic. Sometimes it can be off topic also, not an issue from me. But yeah, please be interactive so that I can see that everyone is understanding. Now, so this is how you will create an account for you. Okay, so this is the basic picture. And on this account or this page only, we are going to perform everything in the upcoming sections. Sessions. Now you can see the triple dot here. You can just open and you can see a page where you can create a resource. In the home page, you can open the dashboard. You can see the list of services that are available like this. And then the major services. So these are the most used services of Azure. That's why it is listed here. Course management, help support, Microsoft Defender, Advisor, Monitor, Entra, many more things. So this is the first thing. And if you want to go to main page, just simply click Microsoft Azure. You will come to this page. Now here it's a search menu. In this search menu, you are going to particularly search any service. So if I am writing AKS, Azure Kubernetes Service, so I can just simply write here and it will show me Azure Kubernetes Services. You can search anything here. Apart from that, it's a Copilot. So yeah, it's a very sleazy integration of Microsoft AI Copilot. You can use it, but till now I don't have used it. So let's just try it for the first time. To be honest, I didn't use it. I use ChatGPT mostly. So yes, now here in the Copilot, you can ask the basic question and it will going to suggest you the configurations. Okay, that's one thing. And now this is the important thing. It is a Cloud Shell. So basically, see, it's a site. So you can open this site on the mobile, on the laptop, on the tablet, okay, and anywhere. Now let's just assume that you are a developer, but somehow you right now your laptop is not working or is with you, and you want to run a particular command or a script to initialize a certain kind of a deployment. So what you can do is you can open up Azure Cloud Shell. So it will create a shell for you. Either it can be a bash if it is a Linux based script, or it can be a PowerShell also if it is a Windows based script. You can open this shell and then run that script. It is just same like as our terminal or the editor that we use in our local machines. If it is a bash, it's support almost all the commands from Linux, and for PowerShell it will almost support everything for the PowerShell commands. Okay, so you can just simply create it. Right now we are not able to create it because we don't have any subscription. Okay, so we'll create it once we get a subscription. After that, we have a notification section here. So if you're deleting something, if you're creating something or anything you are doing, you will get a notification here. Okay, after that we have a settings menu. Okay, so this is an interesting menu. So here we are going to get multiple options, like there is a directory plus subscription, there is a language plus region. So for directory and subscription, we will discuss it in our next session when we are going to discuss about Active Directory or Microsoft Entra, that is right now known as. Okay. So for now, just skip this. We'll understand what is directory or what is directory plus subscription mean in the next session. So we'll check out the appearances. If you like the collapsed ones, that right now is there you can choose, or either you can choose the expand ones also. It will look like this. Okay, right now it is not showing. If you want to check the dock one, okay, so it will look like this, sorry. So you can select the dock one, or you can also select the cloud. You can change the color of this whole portal. So black looks nice to me. And then you can check out what is the home page also. Okay, so these are some basic things. You can select the language according to your regions. Okay, so is there English in Indian format? I just select English India and then apply. So the language of the whole panel goes to the English Indian accordingly. Okay, and then finally my information. Here you can add your information like your email address, and if anything, let's just say messages or any mishaps with your account, Azure will get you a mail on this. And then you can have sign out and notifications option. So by ideal, if you're not moving any cursor or mouse, then your account got locked. You can just select that. So for our accounts, it can be never, but for enterprise, if you are setting up these things, then you will select 15 minutes. After 15 minutes of inactivity, the account is automatically going to be logged out. Okay, so this is again a very basic information. Then it is a support page where you can just check out the supports and all these things like Azure community, or if you want to explore any kind of a documentation. Again, Azure documentation is very good. You will get multiple things from the documentation. And then finally a feedback. So again, it's not very important, but yes, it is there. Then finally you have this. So this is your username that is going to become, and you can sign out or you can switch the directory. Again, we'll discuss what is the directory in our upcoming sessions. So now finally, let's talk about subscription, guys. So earlier I have asked you that what is a subscription, and yes, all the definitions are correct. But if you talk about a technical definition for a subscription, right now when I'm talking the definition of subscription, it only relates or collates to Azure. Okay, so not another subscription that right now. Earlier I told you like Netflix or anything like that. Give me a second. So it is a container that will hold all the resources that is created in Azure, and then it will generate a bill for you on monthly basis. Okay, so again, a very basic definition. So Azure subscription is a container that will hold all the resources that you are going to create. Okay, so it will hold all these things, and after you will create that subscription and you will create those resources, according to that resource usage, you are going to get billed on this particular subscription. Okay, now if we again come to this picture that I have created, and now we have to use it somehow more. Oh, sorry, Krishna, to cut off your name. Now let me just write key here. Okay, so now we have two accounts called Varun and Krishna. Now in a single account, see, you always have to see the relationship on these things. So this is an enterprise account. So enterprise account can be a single one only. Okay, so there are no multiple enterprise account for a single organization. But in a single organization account, there are multiple departments that can be created. One too many. The minimum number of departments should be one, but maximum can be many. Okay, so there is no by default limitation that you can only create 4 or 5 or 6 accounts. Sorry, departments. Okay, so the relationship between department and enterprise enrollment is one to many. Same goes for accounts. So in a single department, we can create multiple accounts. Again, there is no limitations of creation of an account, but the limitation to that account is basically if you open 1,000 accounts, then to use those 1,000 accounts, we need to create, purchase subscription, and that will going to incur us a cost. Now for a single account, we can we can purchase multiple subscriptions. It's not like that we can purchase single subscription. There are different subscriptions offered by Azure. We can create that or we can select that. Again, the relation is one to many. Okay, and then finally we have a resource inside subscription. We can create resource groups and resources. Again, that is also follows one to many. So inside a single account, we can purchase multiple subscriptions. Now, when I am talking about multiple subscriptions, so what are multiple subscriptions Azure gives? So to see that, just simply write subscription in the search menu that we have discussed. Open it. Now in this menu, right now you are not able to see anything. Just simply click on add. And then it will going to check us the offer eligibility that is sustained with my email ID. And then these are the list of subscription then you can purchase. Okay, so that's why I'm saying that the relationship of a subscription is one to many. So you can purchase all of the subscription for a single account only. But again, each subscription will going to cost you a different account, a different amount. So remember that also. But yes, these are the different subscriptions that we can purchase. Now let's just see the most common subscriptions. First one is free trial that we will get for around 1 month. And for Indian rupees, I think it will credit us around 13 or 14,000 rupees. And this is the subscription that we are going to launch today. Second one is pay as you go. So after our free trial is over, so again we need to come to this page and then select pay as you go subscription. In this subscription, you are going to get billed on the time that you use a particular service. In this particular subscription, for 12 months, there are certain service which are free, and for certain service, a certain SKU is defined to you to use, which is which is ideally free, but you will get a very minimal charge of around 1, 2, or 4 rupees, something like that. So this is pay as you go. And then finally, we have our students. So let's just say that right now you are a student and you are actively enrolled in an institute, then you can use your college email ID to create an Azure for student account. This account is created for 12 months. And for those 12 months, you are going to get around $100 as a credit for this account. Okay, so if anyone of you has an Azure student account, then you can just select this. Again, the subscription process is same. You just select this offer, enter your college email ID. Your college email ID get a email, and after providing basic details on that email, you get a student account. But for this, you have a college email ID, active college email ID to be sure. And for us, we'll select the free trial for right now. Apart from that, now we have different subscription like Azure Pass, Virtual Studio Enterprise subscription, Virtual Studio Enterprise subscription, Azure for Student Starter, Developer Support, Visual Studio subscription. These all are the different subscriptions that are provided to the organizations. So if I let you know my main account, it's it here, right? So this is my main account that I use. Give me a second. Yes. So if we come here, so you can see I also have a subscription, and this subscription has a name called MSDN platform subscription. Okay, and as you can see, 8,400 rupees is remaining. Now, MSDN, is it listed here or not right now? Yeah, here it is. So basically, this subscription is used by dev and test that is credited by Azure. So basically, I am a Microsoft certified trainer as well. So Microsoft provide me this particular MSDN platform subscription, and again, it is a dev test. So I can do testing in this particular with this particular subscription. That's why Azure monthly credit around 8,500 rupees in this particular subscription, and that's how I'm using it. You cannot get it directly. It can only be given by Microsoft, or if you have an enterprise account in which this subscription is purchased, then only you can use it. Okay, and generally in this subscription, Microsoft will pay you to use this subscription. Okay, and apart from that, there are also sponsored subscription that is again given by Microsoft. If you are a very good, let's just say if you are a very valuable customer to Microsoft, you are using multiple services there, then they will provide you a sponsorship. You can launch your services in this particular subscription, and then you get some discounts on some services. Is it clear to you guys?
Can we create
Yes,
a
sir.
student account by using our Gmail ID?
No, it should be a college email ID.
So how they will verify that it is a college email ID or something like that?
Because your college email ID has a domain with your college name, right? Just like me, mayank@mayank252.tk. So it's a domain name that I have. So this is how they're going to verify.
Mm-hmm.
And see, if you are creating a domain for a site or for an, let's just say, college or an institute, then you have to purchase that domain. And apart
Mm.
from that, you need to pay for the DNS resources also. So yeah, it will verify from there.
Okay.
And
By the way, I have created account over to Microsoft, but my account is logged and it is not going to let in my Microsoft account. And what can I do in that case?
log
Even
from Microsoft
my
side.
yeah, 2 rupees already credited from my credit card, so that is also done.
You purchase a free trial.
Yeah.
I think then it should not be logged. If the account, if the 30 days trial is over, then it is logged. Otherwise, it will not going to log. And if that happens, I think the best way is to just create another account in Microsoft with a different email ID.
So the same credit card I can use in that case.
See, that is a, I'll just play it a very simple term called gamble. Sometimes it works and sometimes it's not.
Okay. So it is only applicable for 1 month only,
Yes,
the
for
free
one
account.
month. Yes, for free
I
trial
think.
is for 1 month, and for
Hmm.
pay as you go, it is 12 months.
Okay. So I have not used this account when I created it. I think it's 10 or 12 days already passed.
Yeah, so it is better to create a new account only.
Okay.
Okay, anyone else has any doubts still here? A lot of information has been given by me, guys. So yeah, any queries?
So suppose I receive a lot amount of bill, so after some days can I pay off the bill?
So, so this trick particularly works in AWS, okay, but in Azure it not. And to be frank, I don't think so. You should worry. till you have a free trial account, because in free trial account basically there is a limited amount that you can spend. And let's just say that there is a bill of 13,000 and your account has 13,000 of credits, then it will automatically deduct it because you are not going to pay anything for this free trial. Okay, but if you are going to spend more, then it is again by default it is restricted. And for pay as you go, so there is no direct deduction. Okay, so it is not like that you get a bill and then AWS or Azure will directly credit it from your account. No, you have to credit it manually. So if you don't want to pay, just simply close that account. It's not a problem. For a student particularly, it's not a problem. So, but yeah,
Okay.
in Azure, there is no wave of fee, let's say policy by Azure. It works in AWS sometimes, but now onwards, I can see there is no wave of in Azure, AWS as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else has any doubts? Okay, so now I have one thing to tell you. So see, guys, I'll let you know the way how to create an account today, but you create that account on next Friday, okay, before our session. Why I'm saying so? Because as you know that it is only for 1 month. And if you are going to create an account today, then 7 days is going to be deducted from your account. Okay, and we don't want that. So I'll show you the process right now, but you have to do this process on next Friday, not today. Okay, is it clear?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, just to make sure that otherwise, see, you can create today itself only, but you don't have any use till now, so it will going to be waste of time. And then again, the credit card details. So to create it, simply just write try for Azure. Sorry. So you can just simply write your first name, then your email address, let me just write a phone number. Okay, then you can just simply text me. It will send you a message. 277 615 You can verify the code. Now, the name of the company. So we'll just write as a student right now. PAN is optional, and I recommend you don't give PAN ID. Then you can add address 1137 C4DLF phase 5. Okay, let me just write as a power drive. Cities. State is Haryana. Okay, and the code that I am using right now is this. I agree to the service. I would like to receive. Click on next. I don't think so. It will. Oh, it can send me. Okay, then these are the some things that some services are free for 12 months. 55 services are always free, and 13,300 rupees are going to be credited. Now you have to use Visa or debit card. Now either you can use a credit card for this, or if you have a Visa or MasterCard, then it also works. But if you have a salary account, then also you can use that salary account. So salary accounts are applicable in this process. So right now I'm not going to add any information on this page, sorry, in this page, because again I already have a subscription. And after that, just simply hit sign up, and it will redirect you to this particular page like this. And now from that redirection onwards, you are not going to get any kind of that subscription thing. So to picturize that, let me do one thing for you. Give me a second, please. I can add a subscription user here, I think so. We'll know, we'll understand what are the steps that right now I'm taking. But for an example, let me show you that once the whole sign up process completes, how the page looks like when it's redirect. Okay, and again, it's a right now you don't need to understand all this process. Again, next session onwards, you'll understand what I have done right now. Now, if I go to this page again, and let me just come here, and if we come to home like this, okay, so initially our page look like this, but after sign up, if you're going to reload it, it will going to sorry, I need to sign out. Okay, so one thing, remember guys, if you implement any kind of a policy in Azure, you need to log out to your account. That is not a very good thing, but yeah, it happens in Azure. Okay, so after that, when you open it, your page looks like this. Again, it's look like this. Why? My get there at 252. Is it not created? It is not added. Rule assignment. Let's just give him reader. Mayank. Oh, this is the one that I'm using. Select to be and assign, review and assign. Role assign was added. Let me just cross check it once. Users. Mayank. Okay, so I have two users. Okay, that's a thing. Yes, mine 252.tk assigned roles or role assignment. Let me check. I have reader one. So ideally it should be shown or remove that. Okay, so now as you can see that purchase a subscription is removed, right? So yeah. So once you redirect, you will going to see a page like this and you get a message like this that this much amount is remaining in your credit. And if you go to subscription, you are able to see your subscription here. Okay. Till here, everything is clear to you guys. Any doubts till here?
What is MSDN? Full form of MSDN is?
Microsoft developer, I think something like that. It will, so it is generally provided by Microsoft. Okay, and how did I get it? So I am a Microsoft certified trainer, so that's why Microsoft provide me this. And yeah, it's a dev test subscription, so you can do a development or testing in this.
So we will not get it. So this type of subscription, if you
No.
want it.
If you want, then you have to be you have to be a trainer from Microsoft. Then you can
Okay,
get.
okay.
Yep.
Okay. So after completing this course, so any type of discount for the or coupon for uh,
Certification, you are
for
saying?
the certification, are we getting in this training or not?
I think Sham will answer that part.
Mm.
Okay, so I'm not the right person to tell you, but I think the certification cost is very less as compared to other cloud, sorry, other clouds.
It is something 8,000 INR, right? Or 12.
Again, I think Sham will tell you properly, but yeah, is comparatively with Azure and GCP, AWS and GCP, it is very less.
Mm. Okay.
So yes, again, Sham will let you know about these things, discounts and all that part.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else has any query? Tell me, guys. In the next session, if I ask anything, then many of you know don't know clearly about cloud computing. We'll upload. I'll let you know that you get the recording, but yeah, just go through the session, guys. That the first session is very basic ones, and it will give you the confidence that okay, so these are the things that I know, and if someone is going to ask, then I'll let them know. Okay, so these are the things. Apart from that, give me a second. Where is the recording option again? I'm not able to see. Just a second, please. Is it record? Okay, here.